And I just want you to see this cool thing. This is the Apple Store. People help me to do this, and I hope it works. So I hope you're impressed. Okay, the thing, it's not going to be a neurology kind of talk, but the front of your brain, okay, we've talked a lot about the other parts of your brain, and I want you to, I mean, y'all weren't all here, but the back of your brain, I want you to touch the back of your brain. We're going to talk about the other three parts. The back of your brain is what sees, okay, that's the occipital lobe, but don't worry about that. It sees. Can you touch, and so when you're teaching somebody in multisensory teaching, you want to use the whole body and use the whole brain, okay? So if you see something, this part of your brain lights up. So touch the back of your head and say, seeing.
Seeing.
And now touch above your ears and say, talking and hearing.
Talking and hearing.
And touch up here kind of to the top back and say, touching and moving.
Touching and moving.
Okay, and if your body is seeing something while you're studying it, this part of your brain's lighting up. If you're talking, if you're saying it and hearing it, and if you're touching it and moving it, manipulating, maybe jumping rope while you're practicing times tables, or while you're saying chemistry tables, or saying the days of the week. If you're moving your body, if you can picture this, if you're moving your body, your brain can't help but go along with you. If you're seeing something, this part of your brain can't help but light up and open the doors. And if you're talking and hearing, the temporal lobes of your brain can't help it. I mean, they're with you. And if you're touching and moving something, if you're just manipulating, this part of your brain is lighting up. So that's how you open the doors in your brain, and everything that you do helping your child or yourself forever, if you make a point of seeing, talking, hearing, touching and moving while you're learning it, you will learn it better. I don't know if that's something you've noticed, but the doors in your brain open up. But what I didn't ever talk about is the front of your brain. So we're going to do the front of the brain today, because the frontal lobes, the front of your brain, this is the CEO of your brain. The chief executive officer of your brain is in the frontal lobes. It's what makes you, it's what organizes everything. And so there are like three major jobs of executive function. And if you think, I want you to think about this in terms of, it has to do with everything you do in life. School, work, everything. It's what lets you pay attention. Do you have to pay attention to something to get it? You have to notice it. And working memory. You have to be able to put something in working memory, or you won't remember it. It has to be in short-term memory and working memory. And working memory, it's a combination. There's what they call the visual, well, there's the phonological loop. That's putting it into words. So when you're trying to remember like a grocery list, you put it into words. I need milk and eggs. Okay. The other part is this picturing it and making it physical. That's called a visual spatial sketchpad. But that's why. But you're going to picture what you want. You might picture where the milk is in the store. You might picture where the bananas are, right? I mean, you might do that if you're trying to remember. And then it's just and there's a third table in the brain that combines those. So working memory is part of your executive function, your CEO in your brain. The front of your brain does it. And I just think that's pretty cool. And then inhibition, where you tell yourself, you're talking to somebody and they're talking about something, and you really you need to do something else. But in your brain, you're telling yourself, okay, I'll keep being polite, for a minute here, but then I'm going to have to cut in. Or you're inhibiting yourself from just saying, I gotta go, and run off. Or if, a child in class, when they want to get up and run around, it's your frontal lobes that help that child or us to pay attention and to tell ourselves, okay, just calm down. Self-talk, and keeps ourselves going. Okay, this is more just about the same, it's all the same idea about this executive function, the CEO. And I love this I love this picture that this lady gave, Lynn Meltzer. It's for executive function is going to be the hill and the skill and the will. Okay, the hill is you make a goal. What if you're in school? What might you think? And you've got to be using this brain, the frontal lobes, to think of what do you want out of this class. So what might you decide is your goal? I want to pass this class. Maybe that's your goal. So that's the hill. And then the skill that comes from this frontal lobes, again, these frontal lobes, is you have to get the skill to get there. Whatever it takes, you've got to be able to know what I need to, like what if you wanted to win a football game, what are some of the skills that you've got to have?
Tackling.
Yeah, tackling and running and yeah, all those basics. Yeah, so the skills. And then the will is being determined to stick with it. So does this make sense? And to me, I just think it's pretty neat because I've been kind of ignoring the frontal lobes. So here's the power of using your frontal lobes. Steve Jobs, who, like I tell my kids, he invented Apple computer, iPod, iPhone, iPad, iTouch, iTunes. And I say, well, do you think he might be smart? And they know he's smart, and he is dyslexic. Dyslexic people are smart. I mean, they're like smarter than everybody else. 1 out of 3 successful entrepreneurs is dyslexic. And just today, I meant to bring this article in the newspaper. It was Thomas Sowell's editorial, and he was talking about the true heroes. And he wasn't thinking about dyslexia. I mean, that wasn't part of this talk. But he was talking about how Nelson Rockefeller and Henry Ford and Thomas Edison and Benjamin Franklin and somebody else, and how famous they are and how much they have contributed to our lives. And they were all dyslexic. Where would we be without Walt Disney, who was dyslexic? Without Steve Jobs. And so he was using how do you think he used his frontal lobes? What was his hill? What kind of goal did he have? To start a computer? Okay, make money, but he had a good idea of how to make money, a computer. And did he get skills? He got people who could do it if he couldn't do it, and he had a will to stick with it. Okay, and he got his people to have a will to stick with it. Okay, executive control, that's just another word for what you're doing when you take control on purpose. You take control. And I love this quote. Explicitly, that means just directly teaching students how to take control of understanding the text they read is one of the greatest gifts a teacher can give. Students who use executive control have the power to succeed in school and in life. Executive control is the aptitude that unlocks success. And to me, this seemed real profound. I mean, does this seem good or bad?
Sounds like that's what we should be getting, but unfortunately we're not.
Yeah.
Especially for our children that are dyslexic.
Yes.
We just moved here from Texas.
Oh, state law. Is that?
I'm feeling like I'm backwards.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm walking backwards right now. So, it has been really trying for my daughter to come from somewhere that had everything to go to somewhere that had absolutely nothing.
Yes. I mean, we really have something, but it looks like nothing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, we need to teach. Yeah. To me, that last sentence, that executive control is the aptitude that unlocks success. I don't know. I think that's really important. And we need to on purpose teach our students, and I'm going to show you ways to. So here's the feelings of most struggling readers. Does this apply to what you know? Most struggling readers do not believe they can learn to read, right? They're discouraged. They think they can't be good students. They think they lack the ability, even though they're smart, like you're smart, and you might have thought you lacked the ability, right? I mean, this is what people think. And they can see no reason to try. should they try an academic task and experience difficulty, they take the difficulty as an indication they should give up.